hard time getting over this breakup and you can't seem to get him off your mind. You keep thinking about him and it's all just getting too much for you. You're starting to feel like, I'm going crazy. You're probably asking yourself, or maybe your friends and family are like, oh, I can introduce you to somebody. Or it's just been months. It's been a long time. And you're just not interested. In fact, you're off love completely. You're like, you know what? I retire. I'm retiring from love because it hurts so bad. And I just can't seem to get him off my mind. And if you're old enough and lived enough and loved well enough, you're going to completely understand what it feels like. The way it feels to feel like you are dismantling from the inside, but you still have to get up and go to work. And you can get to a point where you say to yourself, gosh, am I losing my blessed mind? Like, am I completely losing my mind right now? Because I am so incapable of moving past. I want to explain to you that you're not crazy, okay? You are not crazy. When we break up, there are multiple things at work. And the better able you are to understand this, the quicker it is to really start to rebuild your life. Breakups are not just this emotional bond broken. Breakups go way beyond that. There is a spirituality to it. It's two energies, two spirits that had found a purpose. Even if that purpose was to love each other, to be there for each other, and that purpose is now being torn apart. And that purpose is now being threatened. And so you feel completely lost. So on a spiritual level, you are having to find your purpose, which is why it's so important that before you come and meet love, have your purpose in God. Know why you were here before you even meet somebody, because your purpose will save your life. Because it's something that can ground you in the relationship. And something that can save you after the relationship. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to have been called to this purpose, to be the woman who's helped over 6,000 women, probably plus by now, to attract love, to have women marry. I was looking through my photos the other day, and I'm just going through bride after bride after bride, and I was like, my goodness, I have forgotten the purpose I have. I get so busy trying to create content and do all the things that I have to do, that I actually forgot the potency and the power of me being in my purpose means women who thought they could never marry, who thought they were too old to marry. I was looking through these pictures and women in their 60s, 70s, 20s, 30s, all getting married. And every last one of them would come and sit with me or my coaches, and they would be at the end of themselves, doubting, do they even deserve love? Doubting if they ever would find love. Some even saying, I just want you to teach me how to be single because I don't believe I can ever find love, because their hearts have been broken. They've been so disappointed over such a long period of time that I was looking at that and I was thinking, geez, you girls, you might feel like I've saved you. You might feel like I came into your life and changed it, but you have no idea how you, the viewer watching me, listening to this video, giving me your time and attention, has saved my life over the decade, and how my clients have saved my life. Why? Because my purpose has always anchored me. My purpose has always been what holds me when the whole world falls apart, when the relationships that I thought would become permanent don't become permanent. I've always had this purpose. I can take that pain, I can turn it into purpose, I can analyze, I can understand, and I can save some other woman from ever having to go through that purpose. So you want to make sure that on a spiritual level, before you find your mate, before you even say, I'm ready to find a mate, that you are either on an exploratory journey to find your purpose. Because if you don't, you're going to make that man your purpose. You're going to make that relationship your purpose. And that relationship is only supposed to be a vehicle at best, a mirror at most, and a lesson somewhere along the line. Okay, so figure out your purpose. And that's what I was writing in my book, Position for I Do, How God Delivers Mr. Right When You Live with Power and Purpose. You can get that from Amazon or my shop on blackstormrelationshipacademy.com. But in that book, it's so important that we meet purpose, because purpose will help us distinguish who's supposed to even be in our lives. Purpose will help us figure out who is supposed to be our partner. Okay, so we want to be in a position where we are absolutely pursuing purpose. So once you feel you've lost your purpose because you've made that relationship your purpose, that's why you're struggling to let go. That's why you're struggling. It's not the man, the human, the flesh, the earth suit that you miss per se. Of course you miss him. I don't want to gaslight you to think you don't miss him. But it's actually more of what he represents to you. And that feeling of being lost you entered this relationship lost already. So spiritually, if you hadn't found your purpose, go find it. And even if you can't find your purpose, find your assignment for the season. What is my assignment for the season? Is it to be the best mother I could ever be to my child? Is it to be the best friend I can be to my friends? And is it to be the best soulmate to myself that I could have ever been? Like, can I find an assignment in this season, somebody to serve and somebody to help, who will help me understand my purpose even more? Because purpose will save your life. And then we have a psychological issue going on why you can't forget him, is that your brain is releasing these neurochemicals where you were so attached, and every time you think about him in a good way, you get that dopamine hit, right? And your body now keeps needing to go back to these memories so that it can keep its addiction going. So you have to realize that you are literally addicted to the hormonal cocktail that makes you feel good, but also crashes you. So when you think of the bad memories, the cortisol, I feel so bad, arises, and then you go seeking dopamine. I want to feel better. So you start imagining all the good times, and you're crashing and going on high and crashing and going on high, like an addict. So we want to stop the loop. And every time you go through the loop of highs and lows, it gets deeper and deeper. So you want to stop the loop by understanding that every time I think this way or consider this way, I am deepening the loop, and I am making myself even more addicted to this cocktail of hormones, right? So the reason you're struggling is because you have a biochemical situation going on, and you must detox yourself from that. In the same way that an alcoholic has to detox, you will get those withdrawal symptoms, but it's really a fight for your life psychologically to really be established in this sense of, I am going to put my mind, the Bible says, let's hold every vain thought captive that exalts itself above the knowledge of God. I am going to hold captive every thought, whether it's good or bad. Paul says, whether it's good or bad, I leave it behind. If it's something that is in your past, let's put our minds on something for the future. Let's have a purpose. Let's have something that we're pursuing beyond this place. On a body level, on a physical level, the reason why you are struggling, like I said, is because of the biochemicals, but also because there's trauma that has been awakened. This is why it's so important to seek out therapy, coaching, to work through your heartbreak. And that's why I've created the House of Swans for you. And in there is a 30-day challenge to heal your heart, because it's going to help you, focus different, but really start to look at some of the traumas that we have carried that are making it so hard for us to move on, because that relationship was probably being used as a surrogate to what you did not resolve in your childhood, to what was not handled in your childhood, and you're reliving that trauma. That's why you can't seem to shake out of this feeling, and it's been months, it's been weeks, because it awakened that wound, because he did not fulfill what he was supposed to fulfill as far as that wound was concerned. So like I said to the girls in the House of Swans, your wounds will call in the person that will harm you in exactly that way. So what we need to do is acknowledge and take the lessons of this breakup and look to that wound and say, okay, this wound, if I don't heal it, if I don't work through it, it's going to call people to me that will only make this wound come alive. So what I want to leave with you in this video is really very simple. You are not going crazy, but you have a lot of components. You have a lot of things that are going on a spiritual, soul level, physical level that you need to address. And we're here to help you. I'm here to help you. My coaches are here to help you. We have a community here to help you really break this down, because until we do that, we can't even begin to think about whether we should have him back. And he's never going to come back. He won't come back, right? Because you haven't healed that. We can't even think about recreating love, because if we don't handle this piece, what we're going to create is a pattern of hurt and a pattern of pain and a pattern of addiction. And that's what we want to avoid. So I hope that this helps you understand why. And I hope that through this series of videos, you've been able to glean something, nuggets out of this. Because what I really want to help women do is heal their wounds. What I really want to do is help women get to a point where we are so healed, our wounds no longer call in men that break us, and we're truly able to love with a pure heart. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots.
Hey beautiful, thanks for watching. If you are looking to attract or deepen the kind of love that feels safe and lasting, click the first link in the description. It's a 30-day challenge to reset your love life.